Hey leader, Dave Burkus here, organizational psychologist and author of 4 best-selling books on helping leaders and teams do their best work ever. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how to give positive feedback to your people and to your whole team. Okay, let's just admit something up front. We don't give positive feedback enough. I mean, we're busy, right? I get it. And we have to correct the things that we see wrong. We have to give constructive criticism much more often. But constructive criticism works a whole lot better when your people, individuals, and the whole team knows that you've got their back, knows that you want what is best for them. And the way to communicate that is to give a whole lot more positive feedback than that constructive criticism. We know this from studies of relationships, both personal relationships and professional relationships, that the ratio is somewhere around 5-to-1 in terms of positive to constructive feedback. We also know through the discipline of appreciative inquiry that we can actually make positive feedback lead to bigger performance gains because we're praising the things we want to see more of. But because a lot of us are out of practice in giving positive feedback, we often don't do it right? Maybe the only time we give positive feedback is when we smush it into a compliment sandwich, or maybe it's just awkward or delayed or something else is going wrong that is diminishing the potency of that positive feedback. So in this episode, we're going to talk about 4 things to keep in mind, 4 ways, 4 steps, 4 methods, whatever you want to call it, to give more positive feedback and make sure that it is as potent and powerful as possible for performance improvement. I wish I could have done a P word for improvement too, just to keep that alliteration going, but oh well. Let's get started. So the first method to give positive feedback to your employees, to your people, is to do it now. And this one's pretty simple. Do it as you see it. Do it as close to the incident, the behavior that you want to reinforce happened. And this is really simple. Like I said, this is really obvious. We do things now when they're important to us. When something is important, we do it right away. When something is vital, we do it right away. We don't wait. We don't document it and follow up a couple days later. We don't say thank you multiple days later, right? When someone does something nice for us, we say it right now. That's how it works. So do it now. Nobody wants to be on the receiving end of positive feedback 3 or 4 or 5 weeks later when we don't even remember the incident, but our boss does because he or she wrote it down. That's not going to be all that effective. So do it now, do it right away in order to convey how important and how meaningful it actually was to you. If it really is positive and it really is important, do it now. The second thing to keep in mind when you are giving positive feedback to your people is to be specific. Nobody wants to be on the receiving end of sort of vague praise. Yeah, really great worker. Hey, thanks for trying so hard. What we want is, hey, that report was flawless and you turned it in quicker than on time. You dramatically exceeded all of our expectations. Thanks for working so hard on getting that report done for the client. That's specific. Right? Hey, when you were facilitating that meeting, I noticed that you brought out the best in just about everyone and you made sure to pull insights from everybody, including the people that don't normally share. Well done there. That's what we mean when we say be specific. And this is pretty simple. If you want that behavior repeated much more often, you need to incorporate it into your positive feedback. And so presumably the whole reason you're giving positive feedback is to increase that behavior, so you have to be specific about that behavior because people will then make the connection. This is something my boss or this is something the whole team needs from me more often. I need to do it much more often. Like I said before, nobody wants to be on the receiving end of like, hey, remember a couple weeks ago you did that was the thing and you did, yeah, you rock. Nobody wants to be on the receiving end of that, right? So this is why it's important to do it now, but why it's also important to be specific about exactly what you are praising. What behavior are you saying was a great contribution to the team? If you want to get more of it, you got to be specific. The third thing to keep in mind when you're giving positive feedback is that it's not just enough to be specific. Connect it to purpose. Connect it to the reason we do the work we do as a team or the reason we do the work that we do as an organization. Make sure people feel that felt sense that I contributed to something bigger than myself by doing that positive behavior, right? So if we're using the specificity of great job in facilitating that meeting because you really drew everything in, and as you know, we are working to be a more inclusive organization, an organization that facilitates more belonging, and your facilitation in that meeting really demonstrated that core value, right? That connects to purpose, to something bigger that we're working for, or connected to the exact purpose of the organization, the way it serves customers, or the societal change that it's trying to incorporate. And if you can't do that At a minimum, connect it to people who benefit from that positive behavior. Connect it to the 2 or 3 people who got to speak up in that meeting and normally don't have their great ideas heard because you noticed they had something to say and you called on them, right? So if you can't connect it to purpose, connect it to something that leverages what in organizational psychology we call pro-social motivation. Connect it to the people who benefit from that positive behavior that you were specific about and you were specific about right away. And the very last method to ensure that you are giving positive feedback effectively to individuals and your team is to do it publicly, maybe. And what I mean by publicly maybe is that everybody wants to receive praise a little bit differently. You've probably heard it said often that you should correct in private and praise in public, but the truth is, not everybody's comfortable with the idea of getting a round of applause at the next company all hands meeting or getting singled out for their positive behavior. And if you've been with your team long enough, you know who the people are and how public they want it to be. But if you don't know, ask. Come to that person now specifically and connecting it to purpose and say, I'd really love to give you more recognition among the team. How would you like to best handle that? Is that a shout out at the next meeting? Is that just an email that goes out to the team and lets them just kind of click reply all and say, great job, thanks so much, etc.? Or is that nothing? It's enough that you did it in private. Different people have different levels of comfort with being praised publicly, and this is something that doesn't get enough attention. And it's on savvy leaders to know how public people want to be with that praise. And you'll get to know that over time, but if you don't, again, just ask. You're praising and you're giving positive feedback in the act of asking, and then you're doubling up on it when you identify that method that they would prefer to be singled out. So if you want to give positive feedback to your team, you want to put this all together. When you observe that behavior that made a great contribution, that was exactly what you wanted to see, and not only do you want to get more of it from that person, but you want the team to know that it is a super important behavior, that it is something you want to reinforce, then do it now, be specific about it, connect it to purpose, and praise in public, maybe. Know your people and whether or not they want that in public. You do those 3 things, 4 things if it includes the public, and you will not only get a better return on your praise, a return on your positive feedback. I don't even know how you would calculate that. You will not only get more of that positive behavior that you want to see more often, you will sort of fill up the tank so that when the time comes to maybe have to give constructive feedback, people know that that comes specifically, that gets connected to purpose, and that comes from a place of care and empathy and concern and just we need to address this, but you know that I care about you, you know that I'm looking out for you because I have given you that positive feedback much more often. 5 to 1 is the great ratio to stick to, and 3, possibly 4 is the method for doing it. Do it now, be specific, connect it to purpose, and maybe do it in public, and you will not only have accomplished that great positive feedback, but you'll have helped everyone on your team do their best work ever. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And if you really liked it and you want to go deeper, then check out the resources we have for you and your team at davidburkus.com/resources. Guaranteed there's something in there that'll help you do your best work ever.